You're looking at a Fairmont MT-14 rail car, also known as a rail speeder. This car is approximately 35 to 40 years old, has a CCKB engine in it made by Onan that was just completely rebuilt approximately 500 hours ago, and is completely Narcoa ready to be put on the rails and ride if you have a Narcoa membership and insurance. I'm going to walk around the car and point out some of the special features on this car. To begin with, there is a very large lockable toolbox on the back of the car, which is very sturdy and has a large amount of room for whatever you want to carry with you. You'll also notice that there's a large heavy-duty tow bar that's mounted at the top of the toolbox and can be released very easily by the pull pins, which are also used to attach the tow bar to the car. There are spacers at the end of each pin to make up the distance on some cars that don't match the bumper on this one. All the lights and all of the Narcoa accessories needed for safety purposes are all in fully working condition. The brakes on this car have extra long brake shoes, and they have been bonded with brake material so you do not have a metal-to-metal contact. Also, on this car, the shaft is a solid steel shaft that has pillow blocks that are made out of solid steel with Zerk fittings in order to allow grease to flow fully around the shaft. This replaces the aluminum ones that come standard on this car. You'll notice that the dash and controls on this car are 100% complete with a speedometer, tachometer, clock, fuel gauge, oil gauge for temperature, and a voltmeter. Also, there is the amp meter that comes standard and the oil pressure gauge on this car. The placards and all of the aluminum pieces on this car were custom made to replace the castings that Onan originally used. A very unique feature on this car is that there are two foot pedals, one for the brake and one for the clutch. These pedals work in tandem with the levers. If I push down the pedal with my foot, you'll notice that the clutch lever will work with it. If I push on the brake, once again, you will notice that it works. There is a full Narcoa approved intercom system made by David Clark that comes with this car, along with two sets of headphones with the mics and also a second mic. The radio is not a standard radio anymore since they have changed the frequencies and would have to be replaced to be able to talk on the Narcoa bands. All the seats in the car have lap belts. The rear seats also have shoulder harnesses that will retract. Also on the rear seats, you will notice that there are armrests, both a stationary one mounted on the center console and a liftable one to get in and out of the car, used on the outside of the seats. On the front of the car, you will notice that there is an electric winch to facilitate getting on and off a trailer or for moving the car. This electric winch is a remote controlled unit, but there is also a manual switch mounted underneath the driver's seat. The remote control fob is hanging on top of the contactor sitting inside the car. The car was completely wired 2 years ago, and new modern style fuse locks were installed along with wiring. Everything on the car is fused. You'll also notice a fire extinguisher mounted on the corner of the car, which is a Narcoa regulation if you're going to ride. And you will also notice that there is an air horn setup, which is also a Narcoa regulation. The rear view mirrors are both inside as a standard mirror and also on the outside an extremely large mirror so that you can see people in back of you for a very far distance. Inside, underneath the center console, you will see there is a 6-gallon stainless steel gas tank. It not only has a filter on the bottom of the tank and a shut-off valve, but a second filter, which is on an electric fuel pump underneath the dash, and a third filter before the gas goes from the fuel pump down into the engine. Even though the car has been sitting for almost a year, once the gas was replaced and the key is turned on, the fuel pump is turned on along with a master switch, the car starts immediately. It idles beautifully, and the RPM meter will show you the actual idle at approximately 1200 RPM. The voltmeter shows that the alternator is charging without any problem. The tank is full of gas at this point, and the car is actually ready to ride.